So then now, eventually now, Mwendi and I get into a relationship.
So that's when you met her?
That's how I met her. It was through Harry.
So was it weird the first time you met?
It was super weird. It was super weird because I'd been talking
You're
a good
brave.
game on the phone.
All talk.
In person, I was a mouse, man. I was like,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 2. I know for those of you who are watching, you're probably watching this in a series and you're like, ala, kwa nini umse amechange nguo?
It's a whole nother day.
It's a whole other day. I told Kanjii his story is too long, that when he comes here, he needs to ensure that he doesn't give me nothing less than 3 days. Now is when he's understanding. He's like, okay, I get.
I get it now.
I understand. But at least he gave me 2 days.
I did. See?
Yeah, 2 days. So today we are going. We are going.
Let's go, man.
Sawa. So let me sort of do some context. So where we've left this off, Milele has dropped forever.
Yeah.
There's Level Up that is in the mix.
Yeah.
But then you said something so powerful that you coming back home dramatically.
Yes.
Tuendelee.
Okay, so so chronologically, I guess it's the we drop Level Up. We come to Kenya, do another tour in Kenya, and and those were great. And I believe, we did Kampala Pentecostal at the time, Watoto Church.
Wow.
So we did some stuff in UG as well.
Yeah.
And there was mad love for us in UG.
Yeah.
We had just a great relationship with Uganda. And personally, I've always had there's always been like just a good relationship, maybe because of Steve Jean and Ruchi from Limitex.
I need to say this. A lot of people don't understand, but gospel Kenyan music penetrated into Uganda.
Yeah.
Because of you. And you, Milele, you, myself, is how I ended up at Watoto Church.
Yeah.
Now, the amount of people whose music I'd take there.
Yeah.
Is that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's such an insight, man. Because, and I guess at the beginning, so one of the, I guess, storylines for my life is, so I consider myself a pretty decent strategist, but it's amazing how much of my life is unstrategic. Like, it's unbelievable. like how many things I look back and I'm like, okay, that wasn't the strategy.
Yeah.
But that was the result, right? So us guys, we're just following the path in front of us.
Wow.
So we go there, we record Level Up. So we do the Watoto Church because we're there.
Yes.
And it's amazing. We make really good friends. We're obviously great friends with Limitex. Then there was another group, First Love, in Uganda, that was like, the second coming of Limitex.
Yeah.
Tight Harmonies, it was almost like a brother group to us. And so there's all this connectivity with Uganda just simply because that's where we are and those are the people that we know. And so everyone who worked on our stuff, whether it was makeup artists for photo shoots or the photographer or whatever, it was all happening, real time. And then years later, when Mavuno and hip hop and you guys are all going to Uganda, there's this whole backstory of stuff that happened in years before.
That we're still riding.
That
we're still riding. Yeah. I mean, the first time I ever went to UG, it's Ruchi's house we stayed at. Kirk Franklin. The Kirk Franklin concert.
Yeah.
In fact, you took Mavuno worship down for that.
Yeah.
I think it's important to say this Fat Fest via Enoch.
And That's how Mavuno Kampala got planted. It was through that connection.
Oh, you know, this your story is the foundation for all other guys. How Daddy Owen ended up going to tour UG. You're not just called randomly. There's people who've planted seeds and thrown your name in.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that I think we will hear more in your story. But then I just interjected there when you're talking about the UG, because I'm looking at it from 2025 and saying, do you guys know that this is where it started?
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So we recorded the project, went back to the States, and did our Kenya gigs. And the Kenya gigs, I can't remember which ones we do at that time, but there's a very, very famous Parklands Baptist with DJ Moores and where we filled out Parklands Church, Baptist Church.
Wow.
And one of the most unique stories of that time was it was so many people who came for that gig that instead of Mathris having Parklands, Westlands, they changed their branding and they wrote Milele. So like basically like this Mathri will drop you at the Milele concert. like that. I remember that and I was just like, that's pretty cool, man.
That's insane.
So
that's insane.
So we had the Parklands Baptist concert, and you need to find out from DJ Moores whether that was the launch of the K Crew 31st night or whether that was like the takeoff of it. Like it was significant in the whole
ecosystem of Kubamba.
Of Kubamba and the 31st
TSO.
December night. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's TSO.
Yeah. Totally sold out.
Yes. So I don't know if it was the first one or the second one or the one that did the J curve on that concept, right? So so then now we really came back home every year, because we're just like it was wonderful to do ministry in Kenya. There was we were building on the momentum and all of that. Then let me see where the story go after that. So then now we get to the point that you're saying. So in brief, life at this point is still going to school. Weekends is Milele, summers is Milele, right? And Milele is my job.
Yes.
And then enter Super Nyako, Superfly mama. So
Yeah.
So my wife, Wendy, I met her in the States. And at the time, Youth for Christ used to do these tours where they'd put together some musicians and then they go and do a fundraising tour for World Vision, for Youth for Christ in the States. Okay. Then on that tour, so she was part of that group. So she was part of a singing group in Nairobi called TTBC, Thrown Together by Christ.
Hey, TTBC.
So she was like last member. So she got saved, joined the group, and then this group ended up being the group that was the kind of like was selected as a group to do the Youth for Christ tour.
Wow.
Right? Then my best friend is Christian Mungai, aka Kingangi.
Aroro on that tour.
Aroro is on that tour.
Yeah, Aroro has given this story.
Yeah. So it's the girls are the singers. The band has Aroro, has Aroro of Aroro. that Aroro.
Aaron Rimbui.
And I'm the one who named him, by the way.
You thought you called him Aroro?
Yeah.
I saw Kanjii.
So
Did you know each other before this?
we knew loosely. Yeah, loosely.
Okay.
Loosely, because we had connected. We knew each other loosely. Not very well, but loosely.
Okay.
So they're on tour. Aroro is their keyboard player. Kongo Mbathi is their bass player. JJ Ojiambo is their guitar player. These are all the guys who became the band for Milele. And then I can't remember who their drummer was.
Ken? No.
Oh wait, was Kongo on that tour? I might be mistaken. I know JJ was there, and I know Aroro was there, and FJ Felix, who was that super producer, super musician who had met at Steve Owero's studio.
Okay.
Had gone to study in Berkeley.
Okay.
So he was a big part of Youth for Christ. I'm thinking it was Kongo Mbathi who was the bass player, but
don't worry, I'll insert Aroro's clip here.
Yeah.
There's, I think, a couple of interviews you've had. There's that big concert that Pete did called Beyond the Veil in 2000. And I was the keyboard player and I was so happy. I was like, man. And the opening act, in fact, when I found out, I didn't know that they were showing up. I think they showed up and called Pete and said that
want to do a thing here.
Milele show up. And guess who is part of the Milele? Kaima. First of all, that was shocked me. Because I knew Kaima he was going to do classical music. So Kaima, which is part of Milele. And then I was like, oh, this is the Kanjii that Tim was speaking about. And then there's now the other two guys, Hari and
Christian. And Maura.
Maura. Christian and Maura. Both of them are Christian. Hari. Yeah. So I didn't know them, but I knew this. I knew Kaima, and I knew.
You're the head of Kanjii.
Head of Kanjii. So they do this gig, they completely tear the place down, because they're this contemporary. Because we had not had that type of group before, in terms of gospel music. Five Alive had kind of done it, but now they had gone into mainstream. So there was this gap for contemporary group, a group that is doing music that sounds like Dark Child, that the big R&B groups at that time were like Next, those which are the other groups?
There's Beyonce, Destiny's Child, was it?
Destiny's Child, Destiny's Child had come, So this is around 2000, guys like Drew Hill now are starting to fiddle out, and the guys that I'd grown up listening to. But now there's this new generation of guys. So now, Milele fit the bill. I'm like, they have got the dance moves, the production is heavy. I'm like, these guys. And I don't think when the album was the album yet out. I think they're coming to launch it in Kenya. Forever. Yeah. Yes. Because G21. I'm coming there to G21. So we do the concert, and it becomes such a success. So Pete is booked to play at the G21 concert. So the band. So now this is where I realized that it's always good to play with a heavyweight musician. Because while everyone else was in hostels, us guys were put in the bungalows as the artists. I'm like, hey. Us guys were even.
Me, I was one of the guys in hostels.
That was the first experience of being with a well-known artist and the treatment you get. Being a sideman and a touring sideman, you're like, oh, so you get this type of perks. You're like, oh, you're treated differently. You go to a hotel. Oh, this is what it means. Oh, this is how. Oh, okay, wow. And then guess who is also in that side of the hotel? Milele. I make a beeline to Kanjii. And so we start having a conversation. So I officially met Kanjii in 2000.
What? At G21?
Yeah, at G21. That's the first conversation we had. Like, hey, my name is Aaron. You met my bro, Nini. You're like, oh yeah, Kaimas told me about, yeah.
What?
That's when I met Kanjii. So in February, I get wind through JJ Ojiambo. He tells me that you're going on tour. because he had gone. He was scheduled to go for the tour in 2001. I told him, no, you guys have these guys, because his parents were affiliated. So I'm like, please don't. That story.
Don't play with my emotions.
Yeah,
please.
don't play with my. I'm not interested. He's like, I'm serious. I like sawa. So it was. What was I doing? I think I'd gone to St. Mary's. Oh yeah, I'd gone to St. Mary's, and those are the days of the Metro Shuttle. Remember the Metro Shuttle days? So, for those of you who don't know the Metro Shuttle is this bus by KBS where they lied to us it's for bougie people and hiked the fares and they used to play Kiss FM all the time. And so Youth for Christ show that opportunity. This guy is telling me that it's happening, and I'm like, don't play, don't mess me up. Oh, as time goes, I'm a Nairobi Baptist, and I meet Gowi. Gowi is the one who said the second time told me, unfortunately, you won't go. The first time was one of the directors of the Youth for Christ. Now the second time is like,
your boy, man.
Now we are boys. We've done the gig. So he's like, dude, do you have a passport? Like, no. Like, so do you want to go for Youth for Christ? I'm like, but I thought Chris Adwar is going, because at that time I knew Chris Adwar was going for YFC. They're like, no, I think there's some situations happened, so you won't be able to travel, you know. So like, I was like, really? Like, yeah, if you get that passport like ASAP, so
You're going.
You're going. So I went and spoke to my dad. Like, I need a passport. Like,
yes,
tomorrow. Thank God for my dad and his connects. So I was able to get a passport real fast. And remember those days, a passport. Like,
yep.
So I was able to get a passport real fast. So he told me come to the YFC offices, and yeah, that's when I opened the door and I meet Wendy. Witty, find
Denya
Masiuko, and I find Sarah Oyungu. That's Atemi's sister.
Oh, that's
Sarah.
I know she's Atemi's sister.
Yeah, she was in the group.
Who else was in the group?
So basically, what happened is that YFC used to have auditions, but because of the G21 and they were unable to do auditions, so they approached TTBC, the group. Like, can you do this tour for us?
What?
Yeah. So basically the three of them are in a group, you know. So they're like, sure, but you see, they were also working. They're like, yeah, we'll pay you. So whatever your whatever job you have, we can kind of sort that out in terms of tunes. So they're like, a year, we'll be away instead of a year touring the States. So why not? So it was a unique group in the sense that there were no auditions.
I get it.
Yeah. So I get in. I am put to speed about what's going on, the songs. So me and JJ, now that's when the programming element of keyboard happens. Remember what I talked about in St. Mary's?
Yes.
The O1W in Saints?
Yep.
I find that the keyboard they have is a Korg. It's a Trinity Korg. So that's when I delved in how to program. You guys, you give me a Korg right now, I'll make for you beats. So that's why I learned how to make beats.
It's just you and
JJ.
You're only two instrumentalists.
Yeah, we're only two instrumentalists.
And your keyboard.
And the keyboard. So JJ can play both bass and guitar. So that's covered. So now in terms of drums, I was going to program all the other elements. So even the album that was supposed to be that we were going to sell there, all the music there is me and JJ who did. The guitars and the program.
What studio did you record it in?
At the back of the van.
With you?
So we were 6 of us, 7, because now FJ Mwangi.
Okay.
Which is another interesting story, because he was in Nairobi school.
Yes, in fact, you mentioned
him. Yeah, I mentioned him. Yeah, and he was a mad organ player, you know. And so he joined the tour because he was in He was in Berkeley College of Music. Who was his roommate? Eric Onaina.
No way.
So anyway, so that's the band, and then now Wendy and all these girls were the singers, and Gowi Odera was the other singer. And actually, Gowi was even the leader of the team. So Christian, who's my best friend then and now, aka Kingangi, aka Harrison Harry, was dating one of the girls on their tour. So me, I'm the wingman. So so we were roadies literally. Yeah? So they're like, hey, we're in Seattle. We'd get in the car, drive, I don't know how many gazillion hours to get to Seattle for Harry to go and hang out with Shore. But I would accompany him all the time. And then, when they're talking on the phone, I'd grab the phone from Christian and I'm like, wait, are there any nice chicks on your tour? Ebu weka on the phone. So we started talking to Wendy on the phone. We hadn't met, but it was just friendly, just like Nini.
Yeah.
So then now, eventually now, Wendy and I get into a relationship.
So that's when you met her?
That's how I met her. It was through Harry.
So was it weird the first time you met?
It was super weird. It was super weird because I'd been talking a good game on the phone.
Talk.
In person, I was a mouse, man. I was like, I didn't want to do deep and anyways, yeah. So we get into a relationship, and with Wendy, it was so quick, and Christian and some of my friends had always told me, when you meet the person I'm a very intense friend, and they said when you meet a chick who's as intense as you, that's gonna be your chick. That's a one for you. And like Wendy just matched me. Like we would have phone. She's a person I've talked to on the phone the most by far. But we've had a phone conversation that was maybe 10 hours.
What?
That one, you've looked for all the positions. You've laid on the carpet, you put your feet up. As in, back at the fort, yes. Your ear would overheat. So in like, I think 2 months from meeting her, I announced to my friends. I announced even to the Milele parents, not my parents, but the other guys' parents, because they were in the States. I was just like, hey, guys asking, what's up? I was like, yeah, I've met the chick I'm going to marry for sure. And, guys are like, what do you know about marriage? Because I'm 23 at this time, or 24. Yeah. But I'm like, for me, I'm sure. I'm like, yeah, this is the one.
Yeah. Let me ask, did you guys bump into Milele at this time?
I'm coming to that.
Okay, cool. Still
so we have done the entire tour, and then because not the entire tour, we've done half. We're halfway. This is around December. Now we are starting to do an extensive run in California. And so California, that's where the Milele guys are based. So they got wind that we are around. So me and Kanjii, that's where me and Kanjii now became friends. Because now they became like our KY. But then, like, I have this thing with Christian, where Kingangi.
Yeah.
Well, up till now we greet each other that way. Like, when are you going? Because the problem where I'm saying, I used to ask them, when are you going? Is they would come and just derail us. We're supposed to be practicing. These guys are looking for. They're talking to these chiles. You're doing exactly what. So it was upsetting me because I'm like, we're not concentrating.
So this is where Kanjii found Mwendi, where Kanjii found his wife.
Absolutely. 100%.
This was the moment. So the outsiders were.
The outsiders, because I think they knew, like, us guys, now the outsiders are like, oh, this is a very fly chiles here. Let's go in there.
That's crazy.
So that's when I met Milele, and then they started really hanging out, and of course now Kanjii they started serious friending, some good friending with Wendy, and then and of course now the rest is history.
Yeah.
And so the entire run in California, we're always every so often we'll be together.
That's so cool.
And that's when I started hanging out with Kanjii, and he started telling me what he wanted to do, what he's interested in. And that's when I learned about the Musicians Institute, where Kanjii was. And I told him that I'm interested in joining a college. So I told him that Berklee College of Music is a bit too expensive. So no, actually some students and former teachers of Berklee actually teach at the MI, Musicians Institute. Apply. When you go back home after the tour, apply. These are the whatever. And then he put me in touch via email to one of the deans or something. So she sent me a package when I came back, and I sent the papers, and I was accepted.
Yo!
At the Musicians Institute, yeah. It was a degree in music performance.
So Mwendi now goes back to Kenya because she was just there on tour. And at this point, I'm at a specialist music school in Dallas.
What?
So somehow over there, I moved to Dallas for like about a year and a half.
A year and a half?
Yeah, for a year and a half.